The Gospel of John has always intrigued me because if you follow the Gospel, there are different characters who come to God in different ways. Some like that, others take a little longer. They're like us human beings of today. And one of those that took a little longer is Nicodemus. So that's my message. I am Nicodemus. You remember me from John's Gospel. I've been criticized for failing to believe in Jesus immediately, as many do. But many struggle as I struggle to understand his message. Some changed their minds about me when I defended Jesus in front of the Sanhedrin. More arose in my defense when I came with Joseph of Arimathea to claim and bury Jesus' crucified body. I was a leader of the Pharisees, a member of the Jewish religious elite, the elite that oppressed Jesus. I was a member of the Sanhedrin, the powerful Jewish tribunal and council that had religious, criminal, and civil jurisdiction over the Jews under Roman authority. I was curious about this Jesus. And because of my curiosity, I became trapped between the political forces of the Sanhedrin and the powerful love force of Jesus Christ. I first heard about Jesus as he was traveling from Nazareth to Jerusalem, healing, doing all these miracles. The story of him turning 150 gallons of ordinary water into finest wine at the wedding in Cana was really astounding. Other Pharisees denied the possibility, declaring all of these stories as fake news. I was curious, because if there was any truth in the stories, I thought there might be something to the rumor that Jesus really was the Son of God. One night, I came under the cover of darkness to hide from the other Pharisees. I visited Jesus to understand more, and I said to him, Rabbi, we know that you are a teacher, straight from God. No one could do all the God-pointing, God-revealing acts that you do if God weren't in on it. Jesus then replied and confused me. No one can enter God's kingdom without being born anew, without being born of the Spirit. And wait a minute, I asked, how can anyone be born again? Can a grown person enter his mother's womb and come out as a baby? You're not getting it, said Jesus. The Spirit of God is everywhere, blowing, gusting every which way, flying with the wind. Hanging on to God's Spirit is the way a person is born anew. And then Jesus said something that I will never forget. My Father so loved the world that he gave me God's only Son to the world. So by believing in me, everyone can have a whole and lasting life. I was still puzzled. But something about Jesus grew in me. And Jesus went all around the countryside, speaking things of God, even claiming that he had seen God. Now the Sanhedrin, of which I belong, sent the temple police to follow him and report back. They returned. No Jesus with them. And some Pharisees asked, why didn't you bring him back with you? And the police answered, have you heard the way he talks? We've never heard anyone speak like he does. Some members of the Sanhedrin became angry Are you carried away like the rest of the rabble? You don't see any of the leaders believing in him, do you? Or any from the Pharisees? It's only this crowd of rabble, ignorant of God's law, that is taken by him, and they are damned. I became worried that the Sanhedrin would take unwise action, and I asked, does our law decide about a man's guilt without first listening to him and finding out what he is about? And the Pharisees and the Sanhedrin became quiet. They accused me of sticking up for Jesus. The furor wasn't over. Then one night a messenger came to me, wakened me in the middle of the night to say that Jesus had been arrested in the garden, taken before Caiaphas, and then before Pilate, and then sent to the cross. My awakened ears heard the mob shouting, "Crucify him!" I dressed quickly and followed the crowd towards Golgotha. I watched from afar as they raised 3 crosses with Jesus on the center cross. I heard the anguished cries of the 2 on either side of Jesus. Jesus remained silent until I heard him cry, my God, why have you forsaken me?" And I thought, for a moment, surely if Jesus is the Son of God, he would not be forsaken. And you know what? Then I remembered the rest of that psalm that Jesus had started. A psalm that the Pharisees recited in its entirety. And the last part says, "From the horns of the oxen you have rescued me. I will tell of your name to my brothers and sisters in the midst of the congregation. I will praise you. God did not hide his face from me, but heard when I cried to him." Remembering the psalm in the entirety, I knew that God was there beside. No, not just beside, but there in his Son Jesus. I knew that truly Jesus was the Son of God. I heard Jesus cry out, "It is finished." But you know what? I knew it was only the beginning. I hurried and I purchased a huge amount of anointing spices and oils, and I came with Joseph of Arimathea to collect Jesus' body, anoint him, and bury him. I knew Jesus' life was not over. I joined Jesus' followers, although the Pharisees unfriended me, even though it had taken me some time to accept Jesus. I have had a whole and lasting life. The church sainted me, calling me a disciple. Do I deserve it? I am like so many others who come to Jesus slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. Jesus draws all into his circle of salvation, his circle of love. I am Nicodemus. My name means victory for the people. Jesus was the victory.